We can create things with our hands. Hands are the tools of man. We can shape things with our hands. And we can provide food for ourselves. We can create to please ourselves and others. We can talk with our hands. Hands can express affection, or the opposite. We can make many different movements with our hands. The hand is a fantastic tool. We can wrench with our hands, and the more hands, the greater the force. Hands can make trouble too. But fortunately, it's possible to control them. We can pull a thing apart with our hands, or divide it more systematically. Even though we use both hands, this is not a good method. It's much easier when we are helped by something, or by somebody. It's difficult to begin with, but as you get older, you learn. We learn quickly to master aids to the hands. To begin with, our forefathers used only their hands and teeth. One learns from one's environment. Animals can do a lot with their hands which we cannot do. One of the characteristics which separate people from animals is that we can use tools where hands alone are not sufficient. It's important to carry out a task in the best way, a way suited to the capacities of the individual. Perhaps this is how it began. It was necessary to provide food. Many animals were too quick, so people learned to use spears, which were even quicker. And since then, people have always tried to do things more quickly with better aids, and with greater force than that of the hand. People found out how to exploit the lever principle. The tool was made to suit the hands. But it's important to select the right tools. You mustn't do this. or this, or use the chisel as if it were a screwdriver. And what about this? But that which looks like a proper tool can well be wrong. This can be due to a fault in construction and lack of precision, or that the wrong material has been chosen and the wrong heat treatment, or inappropriate surface treatment. The tool must have the right measurements and not have play like this one. It must be light and easy to use, even in confined spaces. And not clumsy like this one. Right back to the time when man started to hunt with the first weapons, there has been rapid technical development and ever-growing demands on speed, flexibility, and force. Demands which tools have to live up to. The adjustable wrench has these properties. It's easy for the hand to adjust to new tasks. But when you have to tighten nuts and bolts of different sizes, you need more force. The adjustable wrench is a BAHCO invention from 1892, developed to meet the demands of today. Up to 1972, BAHCO had produced 50 million adjustable wrenches. Now we are near the 100 million mark, and today BAHCO produces a comprehensive range of quality tools. Lighter and easier, stronger, more flexible. A result of a knowledge of ergonomics, of new materials, and of correct heat treatment. The hand and the tool must function in harmony. The hand needs tools, but they must be tools which are effective. Here is a BAHCO adjustable wrench, just as strong in both directions, and with the eye section in the handle, right through to the adjustable knell. This means fast and reliable adjustment. It's important that the jaws are parallel and stable. There must be no play. If there is, both tool and bolt suffer strain. Both the nut and the tool can be damaged, and perhaps you too. The jaw shank of a good adjustable wrench shouldn't stick out as it does here. Its significance, where there is little room to work, is easy to see. Easy access is only one of a long list of requirements.
The ability of a tool to meet requirements depends initially on the choice of material.
Exactly. The application area of the tool determines which steel should be used. It's the heat treatment which gives the steel its good properties. This is done after the tool has been forged. The heat treatment is based on wide experience so that the durability, hardness and toughness is right for each tool. A few degrees difference in temperature during the heat treatment can have consequences as regards the quality of the tool. Correct surface treatment means reliable performance over longer time. The production equipment must be tailor-made to manage narrow tolerances. The quality of a tool is also dependent upon the training of the staff and development of new production equipment, methods and processes. The tool must last. The forging itself gives the tool strength. The steel is heated to 1200 degrees Celsius before it is worked up. Yes, there are small adjustable wrenches too. Hardening gives strength. This applies to both large and small. And BAHCO gives a guarantee which is valid throughout the life of the tool, a lifelong guarantee. It's nice to have a trump card in your back pocket. A good grip and fine precision are the prerequisites of a good result.
Oh, nice shot.
Not least as regards fixed spanners. You need a slim, flexible tool to get into confined spaces. You choose the tool to fit the task. But at that point, what demands do you make on a fixed spanner? To begin with, it has to fit exactly. A spanner and bolt must fit like this. Then you get the least strain. If the width of the spanner is increased only some tenths of a millimeter, both tool and bolt are damaged by the forces of stress and strain. These forces are spread evenly with the correct spanner. The less your hand notices a tool, the better. Good surface finish and a comfortable handle means that the tool is safe in your hand. It's easy to find the right tool if the spanner width is clearly indicated. Thin, slender jaws at the open end are necessary in a confined space. Low offset at the ring end ensures a firm grip on nut or bolt. High offset can make it difficult to control the spanner. No offset at all, and access can be difficult. The ring end should have as thin a wall as possible for easiest access. Many tools are described as chrome vanadium. These are alloy materials, which are naturally a part of BAHCO tools. But chrome and vanadium only give long durability if they are added in correct amounts and in connection with precise heat treatment.
You can't be sure that a tool's high quality just because it's marked chrome vanadium.
The swivel socket spanner is a fixed spanner too. Here, stability is important. The handle mustn't let you down. On BAHCO swivel socket spanners, the handle is shaped in such a way that it gives the greatest possible stability. You can use a swivel socket spanner as you use a screwdriver where you haven't much room, and also apply an adjustable wrench if necessary. The thin wall socket can be turned more than 180 degrees. This makes the swivel socket spanner a speedy tool. In BAHCO's range, there are socket wrench sets too. There are ratchet handles and sockets. They fit perfectly and are easy to change. The ratchet handle is the most common turning tool. BAHCO has 4 different sizes. These can be fitted with sockets from 4 to 60 millimeter spanner widths. With BAHCO ratchet handles, you only need to turn 5 degrees at a time, and the ratchet mechanism is reliable. No less than 16 teeth grip at the same time, whatever the direction of the turn. When you've got to be quick, you've got to have speedy, reliable tools. The BAHCO automotive tool range also includes extension bars, which with the universal joint makes access easy, to sparking plugs with special sparking plug sockets. Torque wrenches ensure that bolts are tightened correctly. Impact tools are applied when the job has to be done fast. Hey, hang on a moment before you start off. Ordinary sockets must never be used when the tightening of bolts and nuts is done with impact tools. The sockets can splinter. You must have impact sockets like those on the left with thicker walls and made of tougher material. And now you know. Before we go on, we must stop a moment. ISO, International Standard Organization, sets the standards for screws, nuts and threads. This naturally affects the standardizing of tools which have to tighten all screws and nuts. ISO has no influence over the hand, but has a lot of influence on the design of screwdrivers. In Europe, the most common screwdrivers are those for slot head and cross head screws. Many people just make a guess, but it's best to be sure. As regards cross head screws, we make the distinction between Phillips, Posy drive and Super drive. Here is a Phillips screw and a Posy drive screwdriver. They don't go together. And a Phillips screwdriver in a Posy drive screw doesn't work so well either. So choose the right screwdriver. A screwdriver for slot head screws must not be too narrow, too small, too thick, or too thin. That's why there are so many different kinds of screwdrivers. With a correctly formed screwdriver, the handle functions in any work situation as an extension of your hand. It must be possible to really use a screwdriver, whether tightening or loosening screws, and we must be able to turn a screw easily and quickly when resistance is low. Small screws demand precision and feeling. The screwdriver must function almost like a feeler. Large screws demand strength and maximum torque. If you need even more force, the adjustable wrench can help you. But even though the screwdriver can be used with force, you mustn't maltreat it. The handle might last, but the tip will not. The chisel, on the other hand, is made to be hammered on. The shock is partly absorbed by the bolster, which reduces the effect it has on the handle.
Ja, ich habe den meinen, den Hunger. Hast du was im Schleifstein noch?
Ja, ja.
Quality tools must be treated with care. The rough edge, which is caused by grinding, must be removed so that the chisel can function well. From the very beginning, you must learn to look after your tools so that they function perfectly. When wrenching, the hand needs help too. You need more force. You get good purchase on circular objects with a pipe wrench. The more force on the handle, the firmer the grip. The pipe wrench, like the adjustable wrench, is a BAHCO invention. The corner pipe wrench, a further development of the pipe wrench, is specially designed for work in confined spaces. The pipe wrench has a little brother, the slip joint pliers, with speedily adjustable jaw opening. Easy to adjust with one hand, that's shifter fix, a combination of the adjustable wrench and slip joint pliers. Yet another BAHCO invention. We can hold with our hands, squeeze and bend, but not always with the necessary force. Perhaps the idea of a tool was born at the sight of a bird's beak. These are long nose pliers with side cutters. You can cut with these too. Combination pliers hold, bend and cut. Flat nose pliers are good at this. Circlip pliers are an example of a special kind of pliers. When you can't manage with your hand, you use pincers, of course, with tough steel jaws. The strength and hardness of the steel are determined by heat treatment. Induction hardening is heat treatment which gives hard edges exactly where the tool has to cut. Extra hard and slightly rounded edges can cut hard materials, piano wire, for example. You need sharper edges for softer thread. The handles of a pair of pliers must be tough and elastic. Tools are, after all, steered by force of hand. A stable joint with correct mechanical advantage best exploits the force of the hand, combined with a good grasp, of course. The electronics industry also needs tools which work effectively and don't tire the hand.
I think I can see the trouble, Jim. Could you give me the snide nose pliers?
BAHCO has a vast assortment of electronic pliers you can choose from. Let's take a closer look at this. The pliers are holding a snippet of cut wire which might otherwise have landed in sensitive equipment.
A really marvellous tool.
Marvelous tool, Yes, but what do we really mean by that? As with a good friend, it's the inequalities which are the most important. And behind them lies, of course, choice of material, heat treatment, surface treatment, design, inspection and quality control. But it's important that we don't just sit back satisfied, but keep on developing our tools, tools which really meet the needs of our hands. Hands are our most sensitive instrument. Creative hands, creating for hands. Even though we live in a world which becomes more and more automatic, without interfering hands, we shall always need the strength of our hands to get things going and to keep the wheels turning. And keep the boat afloat. Hands are, in themselves, fantastic tools. But in order that work can be done even more effectively, they are glad of help from good tools which are adjusted to them.
See?